Welcome to the Brickyard.
The Trans Am Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Three-Dimensional Services Group, Prototype, Production, Proven. By Pirelli, power is nothing without control. And by Berryman Products, all American made since 1918. Pour it and floor it.
We're here at the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway for round 5 of the Trans Am series presented by Pirelli. Now, this amazing and iconic circuit was built all the way back in 1909, and back then it was all bricks, hence the Brickyard. And over the years it has seen some of the most famous races, and every driver worth his salt wants to race here, Jake.
Are you kidding me? This is Indy. I know I love coming here and running, and I know these guys cannot wait to get out here on the track.
Well, the most recent runners in our series were TA2 back in Detroit, and it quite literally was wall-to-wall racing. Oh, and he hits the wall. Try as they might, they just couldn't catch him, and Matos wins again. Well, a fantastic day in the office for Rafa Matos in Detroit. Maybe one day they'll carve his car into stone, as they did here with AJ Foyt. Now let's take a look at the standings in the chase for the Trigon Trophy after Detroit. Yes, going into Indianapolis, Rafa Matos on 160, Tony Bufamonte 126, then Shane Lewis still third, Keith Prochuk's just behind him in fourth, then Jordan Butt, Ethan Wilson in sixth, Tom Sheehan and Joe Napoleon. Now, Rafa Matos, of course, is part of the Three-Dimensional Services team owned by Doug Peterson, a champion in his own right. But out of Bonita Springs, he decided he loved muscle cars so much, he'd start his own team.
I've been a fan of motorsports really for all of my adult life, and I was getting a little older. At the age of 48, I said, you know, if I don't start racing like real soon, I will never race. I started racing little open wheel cars, and I had a few little situations, and I raced this little Formula Mazda, and I was able to win in 2004. Seems like Trans Am was kind of the last series that I tried. It's a very fair, even-keeled racing that you get in the car, you race it, and where you finish is where you finish. So that has a lot of appeal to me. I've been racing Trans Am since 2011 in the TA car. 2013, 2014, I was very fortunate to win the championship. This weekend we're at Indy, and I'm feeling pretty good about coming to Indy. As a team, I think we're going to do very well. I have Rafa Matos as a teammate, which is amazing. Paul Tracy will drive the 87 car, and I will be driving a TA2 car. It just gives us more flexibility, more opportunities. This Trans Am racing is a great series for my company, Three-Dimensional Services Group. I want to do something amazing in the TA2 class. Beautiful day. I walk on the beach a little bit. I have a simulator where I simulate racing on the tracks. Okay, Indy, coming up to the start-finish line. It rocks and rolls, plenty of noise. Doing about 155 miles an hour. Hard braking, fourth, third, second gear. I feel that I've got a podium in me there somewhere. I'm just not sure when and where.
So exciting times for Doug Peterson and his team, considering Rafa is leading the championship and he's had the likes of Paul Tracy in his team this season, and of course he's still in the championship himself. Now, talking of racing, let's head back to the paddock and join Jake as he finds out who's up for the challenge, the famous Brickyard. Well, one young man looking forward to driving the Brickyard for the first time is Lawless Allen of California.
It's really cool being at such an iconic track with all the history, and it's always been a dream to race here. And just coming from the short tracks in California, I really never thought I'd be here.
Ethan Wilson's no stranger to the Brickyard. He's seen multiple different races here, but now he's doing it himself.
I got to tell you, racing in Indy is just an amazing experience. I've been coming here since 1995, watch Indy 500, Formula One races, MotoGP, and I always imagine someday I get a chance to race here at this historical track. It's really kind of almost surreal to be here racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
IndyCar legend Paul Tracy needs no introduction, and he's back now for his second Trans Am run of the season.
I'm excited. I've got 2 races Saturday back to back. I've got an hour-long vintage race, and then I get out of that car and get right into this car for 75 minutes. So I'm going to be well hot, because both of these cars are hot inside and it's pretty steamy outside.
Well, coming up later in the show, the battle of the TAs, the TA3s and TA4s. But first up, after this break, it's the action from the TA2 Championship. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the famous Brickyard, and to a city that literally lives and breathes for motorsport. And as the TA2 cars head out to the grid, let's take a closer look at the track. It's a reverse of the oval, the Grand Prix circuit, which dives through the infield past the golf course, a tight section at the back of the course, and then opens up onto the oval again to complete the lap. According to the drivers, the key here is the management of tyres, especially over the 100-mile race. Let's take a look at the grid. Rafa Matos in pole position ahead of Scott Lagasse Jr., then Bufamonte and Merrill, Atwell and Napoleon. Ethan Wilson and Paul Tracy are on the 4th row. Now, as we head for our rolling start here at Indianapolis, watch out for Thomas Merrill and Tony Bufamonte on the 2nd row as they try to challenge the leaders right from the get-go. Here we go, down the famous straight on the Grand Prix circuit, of course, going backwards down the Indy oval circuit. And Rafa Matos leads them across the famous Brickyard strip as the green flag waves here for the muscle car challenge. Matos didn't get the best of starts and he's got work to do now. They flow into the first right-hander. Everybody cleanly through, slightly wide there by one of them, but everybody gathering themselves into the next tight right-hander. Matos in 3rd after that start. I think Scott Lagasse got away well. Bufamonte's there in 4th position. Merrill, Atwell, Napoleon. But Rafa will be kicking himself. This is the race he really wants to go well at. He's had such a sensational start to the season as Rafa Matos, but of course he started his career in Indy and he knows this Brickyard all too well and moves himself straight into 2nd place there as they go round the inside past the golf course. We ride on board now with 3rd place Thomas Merrill in the Ford Mustang, right behind Rafa Matos, and these two and Bufamonte behind them in the all blue have got to watch out for Scott Lagasse pulling away, because this has been an excellent start by Lagasse. And once they get through this left-hander and back onto the oval and onto the main straight, this is the best opportunity for those chasing Lagasse to really put the grunt down on these muscle cars and try to catch him quickly. And there is your leader, Scott Lagasse Jr., ahead of Rafa Matos. And we ride now with Paul Tracy in the Chevrolet Camaro. It's been a busy weekend. He's already done a Corvette race in SVRA, but he just loves Trans Am. Of course, he did a race at Road Atlanta, loved that, has come back for more, and he very much loves his job as a broadcaster, but he's got a target on his back. Lee Diffie and Townsend Bell, I'm sure, will be watching and expecting him to score well. Back on board now with Tony Buffamonte as he goes through the last 2 turns and tries to stay on level terms with Lagasse and Matos just ahead of him. Matos about a length behind as they cross the yard of bricks and head down towards the first corner, and both men will go through. And Matos right there under braking now. We've got a cracking battle and a long way to go in this yet. And Matos, oh! Hey, if you didn't know I was there, Scott, hi, I'm here. I'm Rafa, I'm leading the championship. What do you reckon?
What I'm noticing with Rafa, he is doing an awesome, a way better job under braking than Lagasse, and I think he knows that. He's just got to be a little bit more patient.
Patience is the name of the game, and that's why this youngster, Lawless Allen, doing a really good job so far in the Ford Mustang as we go on board with him here at Indy. Brilliant stuff by the Brazilian, just a quick blip, and through he went, and now Lagasse's got to really think about this. Is he going to try and bounce back early on, or just follow Matos for a while and try to do exactly what you just described, try to see where he's weakest not. So they cross the yard of bricks with Rafa Matos leading at Indy here in TA2. Well, plenty more TA2 action to come from the Brickyard. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Trans Am Racing on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Berryman Products. All American made since 1918. Pour it and floor it. And by AEM, engineered to outperform.
Welcome back to Trans Am coverage from the Indianapolis Brickyard. Let's get back to the action now of TA2. And we're on board with Ethan Wilson in the Dodge Challenger, one of the rookies here, although he's got lots of experience and many times here at the Brickyard, but first time here in a Trans Am car. And here comes Merrill under braking, and he's left it very late as he tries to get past Lagasse, and he's going to come off worse. He bounces over the curb on the inside, and as we go on board, yeah, he just missed his braking point, was out of control. And sadly, Thomas Merrill ends up the worst out of that incident.
Lewis is coming. If he can outbrake him here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no problem there.
Doug Peterson still in the top 15. Not in his car at the moment. His own car, that is. He's given that to Paul Tracy.
Yes, on board with Paul Tracy, and you can see him working the car and the wheel on the inside. Great shot there. He goes through the gearbox and rattles around on this Brickyard track.
We go back to Rafa. Three-dimensional services group. He's done a good job for them this year. He's got plenty of airtime, has the 88. And well, he might. He has been the man. And Paul Tracy's had contact.
Yeah, he might think he's got a flat.
And let's have a look at Paul Tracy on board. And yeah, car just cuts out. Side by side, good action this. Muscle car racing, and they're muscling each other off the circuit at the moment, these two. Look at it, side by side, excellent stuff. Trying to use the banking there for a second, maybe. But Buck gets it.
Sheehan thought better.
Yeah, exactly.
Better of it there.
He's like, I've done enough damage to this car in the last month. I'll hold back for now. So, are we going to have one more twist and turn to this race here? On board again, up the banking with Ethan Wilson. Loves coming to the Brickyard, but first time in Trans Am, and as he comes to the last corners, he's doing a really good job this weekend, for sure. Shane Lewis dropped down to 11th position, so Shane, having got all the way up to 5th place, has now dropped down to 11th. and another man in the gravel, in the kitty litter, goes the number 91.
And that will be a caution.
Yeah,
unless he can get out of there.
Let's take another look at it. And yeah, he's just offline, gets onto the dirty part of the track and really just ran out. Did Napoleon?
Yeah, and I'm not sure. It almost looked like he would just sailed it in there trying to get around that lap car. They're going to go full course yellow, I believe, and number 95 lost his door.
As we go on board with Tony Buffamonte before the restart, you can see how agonizingly slow it feels. We're about to get underway. Here we go then. Rafa Matos leads this pack. Now what's Peterson going to do? Rafa's certainly got the jump on them at the moment. Wow, Rafa's on his own. That was nicely done. Well, we said Peterson wouldn't have anything to do with it.
I don't know, that might be up for review.
And they're all queuing up behind him. Merrill's got past one. He's got past two. He's now got Peterson. He's got past all of them. And now it's first and second. Rafa, no, it's not quite. As they come to the corner, Merrill's not quite done it. Through they go. And in fact, Lagacy's got Merrill. Whoa, go Scotty boy. Nicely done.
With no door.
Yeah, well. Who needs doors? That was great stuff, though, by Rafa. Peterson, though, played his part.
Yeah.
Now the 95 of Scott Lagacy all over the curbs there, trying to get past, and now he's going to use the grandstands, is he? No, he's come back on field. I thought he was going to go to the golf course for a minute.
Yeah.
But he's now back up to second place.
There's definitely a sense of urgency with Lagacy right now.
Yep, Merrill's got through two, and he's now 1, 2, 3, as we expected with 9 to go. But Rafa has already cracked this because he's pulled away at the front. And he didn't need to take to the grass there either. So he's under pressure, and he's definitely not very stable at all. And surely Merrill's going to come back at him in the Mustang. Side by side at the moment. He's trying to hold on. Half a door, half a car, and up to the banking. Well, it's a good idea. Try to use the Indy banking and get a swing shot, but that's not going to work. And he almost tries to clatter into Merrill. Merrill side by side, and somehow Lagacy holds on for now. Now, replay here from Jordan Buck's point of view. He's got Peterson in front of him, but Doug Peterson locks up, and round goes the Dodge Challenger. No more challenge from Peterson as Buck continues. It's been a good day for Jordan Bupp. He's done a really good job here at the Brickyard, and he's very much in contention. But the battle at the front, Rafa Matos has now served a drive-through penalty for that jump start. But here's the battle. Buffamonte on the outside, Merrill on the inside, Lagacy holding on. Somehow Lagacy gets through the first turn and holds on to the lead. He goes to the outside, he goes up to second, and the 34, as predicted, has waited to pounce. Now can he make a better meal of getting past Lagacy, because Merrill couldn't do it and has damaged his car in the process.
Now, I said about the aero might not be a factor here, but now it is, because Buffamonte, he doesn't have any damage. So, and you look how fast he can, I think he'll go for it right here.
Yeah, I think he's going to, he certainly wants by him now, because he doesn't want to get into a battle where Merrill can join him. And now we've got a great view of it as we go on board with Buffamonte, chasing down Lagacy, who is so much slower. And surely Buffamonte's going to make an attempt to get past very soon indeed. Here it comes. Oh, no, they touch, and Lagacy goes round. Buffamonte does get past, but at the cost of Lagacy. Tony Buffamonte in the Mike Cope Racing Ford Mustang here at Indy, who's going to take the Berryman Trans Am at the Brickyard when...
And this is huge for his points, too.
It's great for his points and really opens up the championship. Lots of drama throughout that race, but Buffamonte comes out on top, taking the number 34 to the checkered flag here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well done to him. Buffamonte crosses the line. Merrill crosses the line in second. Then Jordan Bupp. Matos is behind him. Plenty of drama in the race, but there was more to come because the stewards had a closer look at it. And even though Buffamonte crossed the line and took the checkered flag, He did bump into the back of Lagasse and has been penalized for that incident, and he will therefore not be pushed into victory lane. In fact, they'll wave him through, so bitter disappointment. Bufamonte now goes down the leaderboard, and that moves Bupp up to the win. And likewise, Rafa Matos was deemed to have jumped the start and also got a technical infringement on his engine afterwards. Here's the jump start. His teammate Peterson also going slow, but Matos jumped before the green flag, and he got the technical infringement on the engine, and that really does close the championship right up. Here it is, Jordan Bupp then with victory. Scott Lagasse Jr. takes second. Bufamonte drops to third place after hitting Lagasse, Sheehan, Pruchuk, Wilson, Voigt, and Perez.
That was incredible. There was so much going on, so much hard racing. You know, these guys are so sportsmanlike, it's unbelievable. You know, the guys were talking up back behind the podium, and even though they ran into each other and there was just stuff going on, they're all such great sportsmen. I am absolutely blown away to get my first TA2 win here at the Brickyard. I couldn't be happier. It's like the mecca of racing, and I really picked a good one to do well. We fought all weekend, and it turned out to be as good a possible outcome, so couldn't be happier.
Congratulations then to Jordan Bupp, and a look at the overall championship sees Rafa Matos still on top with 163, Bufamonte 152, so he's narrowed the gap dramatically. Then it's Keith Pruchuk, Jordan Bupp, Shane Lewis, and Ethan Wilson. Well, if Bupp was happy, so too was Thomas Merrill, crossing the line and winning the West Coast Championship, and his team kissing the bricks as is tradition. Take a short break, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Indianapolis and the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, as we turn our attention now to the TA class, who are also struggling with the heat and, of course, with that all-essential setup. And if you want to learn about setup, no better person to talk to than Chris Dyson.
I think that we've got a superb chassis that's been good just about everywhere. So, you know, I think that I learned kind of where I could be aggressive, and I think where we could be, you know, where we can lay off a little bit, you know, make the lap time. So I think having those practice sessions was really useful for us. I think it gave us some good directions overnight. We had a few issues with the brakes. I think the brakes around here are so critical because you're stopping from such high speeds at two sections, and I think they're going to be the two areas where you can get a pass done. So that's what we've worked on overnight.
Another driver working on setup is Amy Ruman. She knows how tight it will be in every session.
I think all the qualifying times are going to be tight. The field is going to be tight. Top 10 for sure. It's all going to be probably within a second or two. So I think if you can put together a good combination, lay down that lap, I probably would head in and save for the tires. You may get bumped if you hit it early on, but the race is where you got to finish. So I would prefer to have tires, but you have to be aggressive to get a good position.
They say you can't keep a good man down, and Boris said it's a good man.
Well, I mean, last year I officially retired, but I've known Pancho for 25 years, and he builds great cars. And when he asked me if I was interested in coming to do Trans Am, I jumped at the chance. Because these cars with 850 horsepower and no electronics, no driver aids, Pancho built a fantastic car. I mean, easy to drive, really fast. I wish everybody could experience the thrill of 850 horsepower around here.
What I love about Indy is you can see history in motion. Look at this. A 1915 Ford racer still going today. I wonder if the people who made this back in 1915 at Dearborn could imagine that Ford and their Mustang would still be leading in Trans Am. As we had a look now at the standings for TA. And it's the Ford Mustang of Ernie Francis Jr. leading the way with 99 points ahead of Chris Dyson in second place. David Pintarek has 70 points in third. Lawrence Loshak has 66. Simon Gregg is fifth. Kerry Hitt in sixth place. Well, we all talk about how great it is to be here at the Indianapolis Speedway, but what's it like to drive? Well, one man who knows very well is Mark Bowden as he takes us around this iconic circuit.
Crossing start finish for Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
down the front straightaway at about 155 miles an hour, trying to brake at about the 450 mark, down to second gear, really getting the car turned in tight, short shifting to third, and breathing the throttle to get the car turned for 3 going into 4, which is a little off camber. Back up to 6th gear, braking at about the 400 marker, down to 2nd gear for turn 7. Back up onto the oval, braking hard at the 3 marker, getting turned in for turn 12 in 2nd gear. A very important turn 14, which we want to commit to full throttle, getting onto the straightaway to get up to our maximum speed. And that is a lap of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and always great to be here.
A fascinating insight into how to go fast at the Brickyard. Take a short break. We'll be back from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway after this.
Welcome back to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. The TA guys just went down Gasoline Alley for qualifying, so let's check in with Johnny and see how it shakes out.
Thanks, Jake. Well, one man going for pole position. Boris said back behind the wheel in the SRI Performance Weaver Concepts Dodge Challenger and putting in a 126.992, and that was good enough for 3rd place overall. Just ahead of him in 2nd place on the grid, David Pintarek in the Cadillac CTS-V, 126.950. Excellent stuff to start on the front row, but pole position would go to the Ford Mustang of Paul Fix, a 126.889.
With the heat and tire management, it was going to be key to put down a quick lap early. That was our strategy, at least, because the track could get dirty, there could be red flags, and we wanted to get it done real quick. So I think on lap 2 or 3, we got it done.
And turning to TA3, and the pole position of 130.904 went to Mark Bowden in the Porsche 991 GT3 Cup car.
We only had really 1 lap to get it done, and got some nice clean track, and was smooth enough to make a track that's this hot really pretty quick. So very well.
And big news in TA4 as the pole position went to the rookie, Warren Dexter, just 21 years of age, and driving with a 133.533, the Ginetta G55.
It's been a really great weekend so far. Cars were running perfect. Trans Am's been helping us through our first race weekend, been super helpful, and it's been a really fun time so far.
So the grids are set for TA, TA3 and TA4. We'll take a short break from the Brickyard. We'll be right back with the action. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where it's been sizzling hot all weekend long, almost unbearable, with track temperatures rising to 140 at some points during the weekend. Now, one man missing all this heat, staying out of it, was the number 98, Ernie Francis Jr. AWOL for Friday and Saturday, but back Sunday morning. So, where has the championship leader been? We found out.
I was up in New Jersey at my NASCAR K&N East Series race. I was up there racing, put the car on pole. Race got over at about 8:30, went to bed at midnight, and then flew over here at 3 o'clock in the morning to make it for this race here. So going out there with limited practice time, but we'll start from the back and see how it goes. Obviously, we want to try and win the race, so we're going to try and go up as high as we can, but top 3 would be really good.
It's going to be a tough race for the championship leader. Here's the grid then. Paul Fix in pole, David Pintarek alongside him in the Cadillac, Boris Said and Lawrence Loshak on row 2, then Dreesy and Dyson on row 3, and Amy Ruman and Simon Gregg on the 4th row. Let's head then to the start. Okay, we are slowing it right down now, and we're going to have a split start, as you can see. Ernie Francis Jr. at the back of the TA field, and he's going to try to scythe his way through. and see how many points he can get. He leads at the moment with 99, but he starts at the back, and the reason for that was he wasn't here for qualifying or practice. He was racing in NASCAR. So Ernie's got it all to do, but they lead him all away now. Paul Fix, David Pintarak, away they go. And Ernie's already made up one place. Good start down the main straight here.
Is that Boris going down for the lead? Or thinking about it.
He's not into the lead, but he's not far off. Yes. We are watching the Berryman TA3, TA4 and race. And the second start on its way for the TA3 and TA4. And away they go. Good clean start. Boris said got away well, and it's Fix who leads the way, and we're also looking out for Tommy Dreesy coming through. Chris Dyson, and we spoke to Chris. He's been under the weather all weekend, and we did an interview with him, and he said, don't come too close, I'm not feeling so good. But he's battled through it, and certainly it hasn't affected him too much in the car anyway, and he's managed to keep going. So we'll keep an eye on how he gets on. Amy Ruman, we'll keep an eye on her as well. But we are underway, and a good clean start. Tell us about Paul Fix. You spoke to him about tyre management over the weekend, Jake.
Yeah, what he did in qualifying was his goal was to go out and get a really fast lap and save his tires so he could go hard and get a little bit of a lead from these guys during the race, and that's exactly what he's done. So I think he had a pretty good strategy there, but I wouldn't count Boris out. I think he's just feeling it out a little bit.
On board with the young 21-year-old Warren Dexter, leading in TA4 in the Ginetta, and a beautiful sounding Ginetta it is.
Oh, we got a little...
Round. That's the number 16. Oh, it's all going off. Well, we thought yesterday was exciting. We've got another situation here. And the 16 car. And that's in the TA4 class. So, under caution now, on board with Milton Grant. Oh, he takes avoiding action. Tries to miss both those cars, one in the middle of the track, and one also taking avoiding action, and he too in the gravel. Green flag waves then, and away we go, and look at Boris Said! Oh, Boris gets it done right away, and I don't think we have any other questions to ask. Is he ready? Yes. That restart says it all. Now, where is Ernie Francis Jr.? He's in about 8th at the moment. Boris Said, though, leads this race, and I'm sure Ernie will get the nod that Boris is pulling away at the front. Yeah, now, can anybody react?
Loshak's right there, though. I think Loshak might be a little bit better than Boris.
Well, he got a good restart, and he's up to 2nd, as you quite rightly point out. I'm keeping an eye, as I said. Ernie Francis' next victim, if that's the right word, is Amy Ruman. She's just ahead of him in 7th position. Kenny Bupp, Simon Gregg still in the top 10, but now the battle is on, and it really is a battle. There comes Ernie on Ruman. He's side by side, and I think he's got her.
I don't know.
Keep your foot in, Amy. Ah, through goes Ernie. Nicely done, though, and he is continuing to side his way. He started at the back, and the reason for being, he was racing in New Jersey last night, which incidentally, he got pole and a 2nd place. Not a bad way to go. Oh, somebody parked it. Into the gravel goes the number 88. That is Tim Adolphson. And that could be a full course yellow, and it is. On board with Milton Grant in the Porsche 991 as we await the restart of this one. So, the plot thickens again. We're looking across to the famous flag, and there it is.
Uh-oh.
And away we go.
Loshak spun the tires there on the restart.
He did. And David Pintarak is alongside him. It's a drag race down here at Indy. But can Loshak hold on? He's certainly got the advantage heading towards the first corner and just cuts the nose off of Pintarak, and that's still Francis Jr. Yeah, just behind both of them. Good tight start to this one. And already Loshak trying to pull away. Yep, he won't be comfortable yet, but that was a good piece of work there, because as you quite rightly pointed out, he didn't get the best of restarts at all.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Pintarak didn't push the issue just a little bit more. I would have.
Yeah.
It was debatable, but it looked like he had the spot.
So then, 22 laps to go. Ooh, And a bit of a touch there from the number 4. So Paul Fix getting the fix on the number 88. That's Tommy Dreese. And that's the first time we've really talked about Tommy. And coming back in this weekend and looking to get the best results. Somebody missing out the corner there.
Loshak went off.
That was Loshak.
That was Loshak.
Whoa, the leader. Well, a rare mistake from Loshak there, but that's opened this race right up now. Let's look back at what happened to Lawrence Loshak. Well, he just loses power, and that's why he pulled off, basically to get out of the way of the onslaught of traffic, and that was a smart move, but he was out of power. Francis goes wide, and he's basically just trying to show himself in every mirror and every which way to let him know he's there. Now he's got to run again. Can he have another go? And he has this time. Oh, that's beautifully done. Oh, he didn't even pause for breath there. He just went past. He just sailed past, didn't he? I'll tell you what, this TA3 battle is getting a little bit nail-biting because you can see Kesman. He's coming up on cars in front of him, but look how close the man behind him, which is Mark Bowden.
Teammates too.
Yes, I know, but you know, real rivals too, because those guys, although they're in the same team, they've battled all season long.
Interesting.
That's not part of the design.
Another missing door. We saw that yesterday.
We saw that yesterday. Well, the Ginetta isn't quite designed that way, but what the heck. So the action fast and furious here at the Brickyard. We'll take another short break and we'll be right back with more after this.
The Trans Am Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Three Dimensional Services Group. Prototype, production, proven. By Pirelli, power is nothing without control. And by AEM, engineered to outperform.
Welcome back to the Brickyard. Let's head back to the action of TA, TA3 and TA4. It's still Kesman, 12th overall, but leading in TA3 ahead of Mark Bowden. And whoa! That is car number 20. That's Chris Dyson smoking out. And he's got a fire inside. He needs to get out of there quick. And meanwhile, the O2 is also slowing right down or trying to get out of the way.
And the number 8, I believe, he just went by, Tommy Dreese. A little bit of smoke coming out of the exhaust.
On board with Tommy Dreese, about to make an attack on David Pintarek as they go down the straight.
I think, yeah, he's going to make a move.
Here comes Dreese. Nicely done. Good clean move. Under braking, but turning in. A little bit of a contact. Racing's rubbing.
I would say so.
Yeah, all right. Well, he did brake very late into that.
I think he actually overslowed the car and wasn't looking
just
far
to
enough
make
ahead.
The corner,
And that's Pintarek was looking where he needed to go, and Dreese was just there.
If Pintarek's going to come back, he's going to have to use the traffic ahead. But as you can see, they're coming onto the wider section now. This a mini part of the turn 2 oval. And you're not missing anything out at the front. Ernie Francis Jr., he's already had a shower and gone home. No, he's still out there, but he's a long way ahead. And like I said, the traffic is a little bit of a chance here, and that's not what Dreese wanted. He wanted to make that cleaner than he did. That's allowed David to stay with him. And I think as they go onto this back section, if Pintarek is going to stay with him. Whoa! And he comes very close indeed. Was that a mistake by Dreese?
I think it was.
Oh, they're touching, and it's going to end in tears. Around goes the flag, and away, out of the way goes David Pintarek. The Ohio man will not be pleased with that. 57 is turned around. And I have to say, you can't really blame Tommy Dreese for that one. They are black flagging 8, so I've just answered my own question. I won't put you on the spot there.
Thank you.
You survived that one, but they are blaming Tommy Dreese. Let's have another look. Now you can call it, Jake.
Well, Dreese slowed down to let him go, it looked like.
But then nudged him from behind.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Well...
He yeah, I don't...
It's here or there. We don't need to be the judge. It's already been judged. Amy Ruman, on the other hand, in the Corvette, looking for a podium as we go on board. And that's the second place car, and he looks as though he could have been involved with the number 16, who'd already spun round and was trying to get back on track. But the four-line number 16 is out again, and that's 3 incidents now Tom Herb has been in. And as it stands, Warren Dexter is marching on to a famous first-time win in TA4 for the 21-year-old.
That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. And a win for Ginetta, too, famously. I'll alert the press in Britain.
I tell you what, they sound good.
They do sound good, and they look good. That car looks great.
It's not quite, you know, a V8 Ford or Chevy, but it'll get there.
I think they might be, they might be doing a full Brazilian celebration. Brazil are playing in the World Cup. They've got Brazilian engineers on the car, and he's just crossed the line there again to take the white flag, and he's going on. But here comes Ernie Francis Jr. and takes the checkered flag here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to win in TA. Another famous win for Ernie Francis Jr., and one he will remember and cherish, I'm sure, for a long time to come. Check on the results then. Ernie Francis Jr. with a superb win from the back. Amy Ruman second, then Tommy Treasy in third, with Tarek fourth, Greg fifth, Bocom in 6th place, and Paul Fix, the pole man, finishes 7th.
Definitely a fun drive, definitely had to work for it. Working through the field, tried to stay as clean as possible, not really touching anybody out there. And yeah, just had a lot of fun. I think the TA2 racing and the NASCAR Can-Am racing helped out a little bit. I think we found some more speed out there on the track, and crap, we should do that more often. That was fun.
Good fun also for TA3's winner, Tim Kesman. Denied last year, but this year, the Lemons of Love have done it in the 44.
It was warm today, a little different track condition, but you know, Fall Line, as always, does a heck of a job, and surrounded by good guys, and it was a good race.
And what a day for TA4 and the rookie. Warren Dexter wins for Ginetta. Brilliant way to start his Trans Am career.
Good race, got out, got to conserve a little bit, and then, yeah, just smooth sailing, dealing with traffic, just patience, and yeah, it was the best I could ask for my Trans Am debut.
What a special day for Ernie Francis Jr. No practice, no qualifying, starts at the back and still wins, and now moves to 131 points in TA, ahead of Chris Dyson on 100, and Tarek in third, Greg, Loshak, and Amy Ruman round out the top 6. Congratulations then to all our winners. There's no doubt about it, the Brickyard is a fantastic place to come racing, and Trans Am delivered in spades. No question about it, in TA2, Rafa Matos's hopes were dashed. He thought he was going to have a big victory and further his lead, but instead, Tony Bufamonte has caught up, and now we have a real battle on our hands. But Jake, the real story's got to be Francis Jr. What a brilliant day.
I know. I mean, he got on a plane this morning, flew down here from New Jersey, hopped in the car, started in the back, and won the race. I mean, just an incredible drive. I think for me, the real story, though, is Amy Ruman. She had to have a good run this week in order for her championship to stay alive, which she did. She finished second. So I'm going to keep my eye on her the rest of the year.
Well, there's a long way to go. We're not even at the halfway point of this Trans Am series presented by Pirelli. A lot of racing still to come, and all 4 championships still up for grabs. Until next time, bye-bye for now. For Jake Dallenbach and our entire crew, I'm Jonathan Green. This has been a presentation of the CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports.